Welcome to Albus Explains. I'm Albus and today I will talk to you about a weird concept called Neti-Neti. Neti-Neti is, if you read the Mahabharata or the Upanishad or the Puran, you will find these two words back to back, Neti-Neti, in many places, but they are not explained properly as such. Literally, Neti-Neti simply means not this, not this, not this. It is a way of thinking of deconstructing the world of whatever fact that you are shown. You say, what if it is not that, and it is something else? I'm reducting the point to a certain extent, but it more or less follows that same argument. If not this, then what? If not this, then what? And if we keep on doing this, we reach a certain reality beyond which we cannot apply that rule of saying not this, not this. So what do we find when we go deep enough? I have found that this wall of understanding, this point beyond which we cannot go, is proven many times in the past, and it is given proper names. But to reach that point, we need to follow the concept of Neti-Neti. Now, let's keep Neti-Neti aside for a minute. The ultimate reality of this universe is called in Sanskrit as Para Brahma. Now, Brahma means the universe, and wherever the word Para comes, anywhere, it is beyond it or above it. Like a person, like the meaning of the name, if someone's name is Param, it means that he is above or beyond that facet. Okay, so if you find Para anywhere, even paramilitary, the word para in the English language comes from the Sanskrit word para, which means beyond. Like we have military and then there is paramilitary. So that is how that word works. Well, in the case of Para Brahma, he said that he is the bedrock of this universe, that he is the ultimate reality of this universe. That is the most fundamental of the foundations of the universe, and above it the whole universe called Brahm is situated. But the weird thing, wherever the Para Brahma is discussed, he is given the property of being Nirguna. Okay, in many places, in many discussions or arguments in the Mahabharata or the Puran, you will find that the ultimate reality of this world is called Nirgun, Nirakar. Nirgun means it has no properties, and Nirakar means it has no shape, it has no form as such. Another example would be, oh yes, in the Shaiva, in the Kashmir Shaiva traditions, which are the population of people following that tradition is going down rapidly. But nevertheless, in Kashmir Shaivism, there is a concept that goes beyond moksha. Well, there is a concept of moksha, but beyond there is a concept of Turiyatit. Now, Turiyatit is beyond moksha. So think about that for a minute. It is beyond the ultimate desire that a person could have, as described by many great people. Turiyatit goes even beyond that. Now, Turiyatit means shunya, or the void. Now, shunya means zero, that emptiness of a feeling. But this emptiness is not normal. It's a special type of emptiness. It's not even emptiness, it's more like nothingness of that object, because it is compared to shunya, the word for zero. So even in Sikhism, the Sat Sri Akal, the ultimate being of reality is Akal, that he is beyond time. The Shri comes to signify his greatness, and Sat means truth. So the truth of his being beyond time is the fundamental basis of this universe. That is why they say Sat Sri Akal. Even in Mandukya Upanishad, there is a mother who sings a lullaby to her child, and in that she compares her child to the Lord of the universe, and the child suddenly starts crying, and she calls him Niranjanosi. She actually says that you are the representation of the Lord of the universe. The Lord of the universe is another way of calling the bedrock of reality, the bedrock of this universe. And she calls the child Niranjanosi. And Niranjanosi is again coming from the Sikh. It's not coming. It has the same root as the Sikh concept of being Niranjan, the ultimate reality being Niranjan. Niranjan means without blemishes, without any marks on it. Basically, being undefinable. So the bedrock of this universe exists, like it has a certain basis in existence, but it has no basis in being described, in being able to be described. Now, if you read the Bhagavad Gita in the 12th chapter from Shlok 1 to 4, you will find that this same ultimate reality, this bedrock of this universe, is defined by many. Is defined by many terms. One of which is Aksharam. Aksharam means it cannot be destroyed. Another is Anirdeshyam. It means that it cannot be directed to. It does not have a direction. You can't give a nirdesh where it is. Like it is anirdeshyam. You cannot give a direction to where it is. Another is Kutasthalam. Kutasthalam means it does not change its form. Another is Achalam. Achalam means that it does not move. Another is Avyaktam. Avyaktam means it is unmanifested. Another is, well, there are this string of adjectives used to describe the bedrock of this universe are pretty vague, and they just say that there is a nothingness to it, there is a unmanifestation to it, and this is constantly done. A few more are Achintyam. Achintyam means it is unthinkable. Another one is Dhruvam. Dhruvam means eternal, that it does not have an end. It will go on and on. It will forever be. Eternal technically means that it will forever be. So when these concepts are used, it is very difficult to understand what that thing is really. So if I go in the search of the fundamental reality of this world, I end up with these adjectives, which basically say that I cannot find it. So, well, because this problem is posed in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells Arjun, like he sort of gives in to the fact that this is actually difficult. So in the next subsequent shlok, like in the 5th shlok of the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he says that it is difficult for people with bodies to understand something that is unembodied. So unembodied objects, there is a clash in the mind. How does something with nothing and with no attributes exist? So how does that happen? And he says that well, the concept flows like it exists at the limits of our knowledge. So, and these limits are not limits that we don't know now and we might be able to know them in the future. These limits are something like we cannot know it. So I believe that they exist in those terms. Now I believe that all the modern science is pretty good at what it does, and I really believe in modern science. In modern science, if you take up any subject like biology is nothing but applied chemistry. Chemistry is nothing but applied physics, and physics is nothing but applied mathematics. But mathematics is not applied of something. Mathematics is pretty fundamental, okay? In mathematics, one of the textbooks of mathematics called Lilavati, written by Bhaskara II in the 10th century. Well, that book, okay, so that book is written for people who should learn maths. It was used as a textbook in India for over 6-7 centuries, and it is still used today. So that book has some authority attached to it. In that book, in the beginning chapters, he asks Lilavati, because the entire book is posed as questions to his daughter, whose also name was Lilavati, and he asked him, why do we study maths? Like his concept of asking that question was, why do we do anything? And he asked, why do we do maths? And his daughter replies, well, we do maths for counting. And he says, no, but why do we count then? because this question can go on infinitely. Why do we count? And she is not able to answer the question. And he replies, we count, and we keep on counting it to find the limit to which we can count. So in other words, we count to find the uncountable, to find the limit where the uncountable starts, the point beyond which uncountable starts. So, well, another word for uncountable is dhruvam, like it stays there, and it is achintyam because we cannot directly think of it without a, well, it is achintyam, it is unthinkable. So, well, that fits the definition of the bedrock of the universe. And I believe that maths may be the language of this universe. I am inclined to believe that, but it may be a language of the universe, but what is it trying to say? The reason of maths, if understood, if believed if we believe Bhaskaracharya, the reason for maths would be to find the uncountable, to find the achintyam. So, well, if you are not inclined for Bhaskaracharya, that would be stupid, but if you are not inclined to Bhaskaracharya, I can give you modern examples too. In physics, there is a concept called Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, and if you go deep down in that, it basically says that you cannot find the momentum and the position of an electron at the same time. So, well, it is complicated stuff. If you take an atom and you break it down into its constituent elements, we get proton, neutron and electron. The proton and the neutron stay in the nucleus and the electron goes around it, okay? But, well, the proton and neutron have their mass, but the electron does not. It has very little mass. So, to actually understand where the electron actually is around the nucleus, we shoot light at it. But the thing is, the light that we shoot at it holds so much energy that it shoots the electron outward. So basically, think of a billiard table, okay, and you are blindfolded and you are given the white ball and you have to shoot that white ball on the table. If you shoot that white ball, it will hit the wall on the other side and it will come back, and you will know that there are no other balls on that particular path, okay? So you move to a side a little and you shoot it again, and this time it hits a ball and both of the balls go in separate directions. Now you know that on this path another ball existed in the past, but now where is it you don't know, because you hit it from where it was originally. Now you know where it was, but you don't know where it is currently. So it goes beyond. You can't know both those things at the same time. You can't know where it is, you can't know where exactly it is, while knowing where it is moving towards. So you are put in a sort of flux that beyond that level you simply cannot understand. Like, there is a limit to our understanding of this universe, and this limit is not something like we don't know it now, but if we develop better technology we might be able to find it. No, this is something like it is not that it is not known now and we will know about it in the future. This is unknowable. You cannot know it. Okay, so this is the way it works. I can give you another example. If you look up on Google the definition of a miracle, you will find that it will say that something that does not follow some happenstance that does not follow the scientific or natural laws is called a miracle. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but this is what it means. Basically, something that does not follow the natural or scientific laws is called a miracle. Now, take Big Bang theory for example. Our mathematicians and physicists can go back in time to the point of Big Bang, and we can predict what must have happened after that. But let's just stay here for a minute. We can predict mathematically and via physics, we can predict what happened a billionth of a second after Big Bang. Actually, not even billionth, it's actually lower than that. It is 10 raised to minus 44th of a second. So that low, we know what happened just after that much time after the Big Bang. but we do not know what happened just before that. We do not know what happened at t equal to 0. When time was 0, we do not know what happened at that time. And the reason we don't know what happened was because if you go back in time, just before that time I mentioned, 5 into 10 raised to minus 44th of a second, if you go beyond that, if you turn the dial even further back in time, before that, the laws of physics and the laws of maths, they break down. The laws of physics and the laws of math, they break down. We theorize that the Big Bang must have happened using the concept of limits that we have in maths, that if some number is incrementally tending towards some other number, it must be that number. So in the case of Big Bang, we see that what happened after the Big Bang was something like a bang, was something like an explosion. If you go further in time, it is a bigger explosion. So using that theory, we can construct that if we go in time back enough, there must be a point where the entire universe must be inside a pinhead. Okay, that works, but we cannot know what happened just before that time. What this means is the beginning of the universe technically fits the definition of a miracle, because it cannot be explained via the scientific or natural laws. And the reason it cannot be explained via the scientific and natural laws is the law itself breaks down at that point. So we hit a wall, an intellectual wall, beyond which a knowledge wall, more like, that we just cannot pass through it. It is not that we will know about it in the future. It is unknowable. So it is again achintya. It becomes it is actually the bedrock of the universe. It is literally the bedrock of the universe. So again we get to a point where this weird thing happens. Now I have the last story that I want to tell you is, I decide to give you a box, an empty box, a box filled with nothing. Okay, and this is a thought experiment that I have stolen from someone, this last one, but it is just so damn good that I have to tell it to you. Okay, I take a box and I want to give it to you, and I want nothing to be in that box. So I put nothing in that box and I give it to you. Well, if you open it, you will find nothing in the modern sense of the word, but there is still air inside that box, isn't it? So what do I do if I want to actually give you nothing? Well, I attach a vacuum pump to it, and I suck all the air out of that box. Is it still empty? No. Well, there will always be some molecules of air left in the box. If I take that box into outer space, will it then be empty? Because if I take it to outer space and I open the box, all the air will rush out and then it will be empty. Will it be empty? Will it be really empty? No, it will not be empty. Okay, well, I'll still have something around 5 million, a million atoms in that box, even in space. So if you take a cubic meter in space, I will still have a million atoms in it. Okay. What about intergalactic space? That is even less dense. So the way we think about the universe is, we have planets, and the space in between is pretty much empty. It is pretty much empty, but the thing is, the entire universe is distributed with atoms all over, and in some places it is more and in some places it is less, but it is not zero in this universe, at least. Even in intergalactic space, which is pretty damn empty, even there, I will not have an empty box. I will not have a box which has nothing inside it. Okay, so what do I do then? If I manually take each and every atom, the around 5 lakh atoms inside it, if I manually take each and every atom outside of it, will I still have an empty box? There are quantum particles that pop in and out of existence in such a short time that the time is so short that it takes more time to measure its existence, but we know that they exist because of mathematical models. So, well, in that box, which happens in the entire universe, even in this room right now, will happen in that box too. So even if I manually took out all the atoms, that box will still have those particles present in our universe which pop in and out of existence. So it is still not empty, that box which I want to be empty, it is still not empty. So I take that box and I go outside the universe. I go outside the universe, then those atoms, those particles, not atoms, those particles will not be there. So how about that? Now I do not have those particles either. I do not have any atoms, and that box is quite empty. But I can do more. I can go even further. What if I take the laws of physics out of that box? Now I took the thermodynamics, I took everything, I took all the physics out of that box. What is still in the box? You might say now it is come on, it's actually nothing in the box. But no, there is still some things in that box. At the conceptual level, you will still call it inside the box. The insideness of the box and the outsideness of the box still cannot be taken away in that space. So what do I do next? I take the box away, but I still keep that region of space present. I take the box away. Now I don't have an inside or an outside of a box because that box was thrown away. Now I just have, what do I have now? A language breaks down, but I can still call it something. I can still call it, nothing of a sort. I take language too outside of that box. I don't even keep language in that box. If I take language out, but I still use language to describe it. Now what is it now? Well, it is indescribable because I cannot describe it, because all other associations via which I would have described it are not present over there, but it exists. So what do? I call it is indescribable. I can't describe it simply. Well, it still has the property of being indescribable, and if I want to take that away too, how will I show that? I can't take that away. If I take its property of being indescribable, it will become describable, and via describable it will have an association. I want to take away all the association. So the only association that I cannot take away is it being indescribable. So what did we discuss is indescribable, and what is now present in that region of space? Well, is it even a region of space? It is not a region of space. What is now present in that indescribable thing, in that indescribable object? Is it even an object? No. So what is it? Well, it is only indescribable. Well, that pretty nicely fits the definition of the bedrock of this universe, isn't it? So, by the way, this is the concept of Neti-Neti. If you keep on following it, if every time you take something away, like if you say not this, then we have this, not even this, then we have this, not even that, you will reach a point where you cannot do that any further, and then you know that you have reached the ultimate bedrock of reality via the path of Neti-Neti, and we reach there using modern science. Well, this is Neti-Neti, and this was the ultimate bedrock of reality that the people told that it was difficult to understand. Well, it is difficult to understand, it is difficult to grasp, it was difficult for me to explain, but it is not impossible to explain. And that is what Lord Krishna told in the 5th shlok of the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He said that it is difficult for someone with a body to understand that has no body, but it is not impossible, and that is the sliver of difference between someone who understands the truth and someone who doesn't. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about, and this concept of Neti-Neti and the ultimate bedrock of this universe and the Para Brahma. Well, we explained the qualities of Para Brahma, which is, you can think about it, what I'm trying to say here is, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Okay, so thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe. And if you want more of such topics, and if you want me to go deep into some other topic like this, please do leave that in the comments. I will actually do it, and I guess I'll stop talking. Thank you.